Sup witches, Celeste Silver Cord here. I'm just bringing out a general message for everybody. Just a reminder, we're in this massive retrograde season and we are smack dab in the middle of the Venus retrograde. And I talked about the Venus retrograde in the full moon for May video. I put that at the end of that instead of a spell. I should have gave it its own standalone video, but I felt it was important to bring it up with that full moon because I said that moon was going to be highlighting all of this along with the Mercury retrograde. That's why there's a lot of communication themes. Being unable to communicate or hurtful communication. So I went ahead, it's always got ashes all over the place. I went ahead and I pulled 2 cards out this morning for you guys. I'm using the Dark Mirror Oracle deck lately. I just got it a little while ago. And I really like them. They have really good sayings on them. And sometimes if you see the other perspective on things and you can see the hard shadow side of things, it's easier to recognize them so you can get past them. So the 2 themes that I pulled up, and it came along with the number 5 and 13, which goes along with the 5 and the 3. That is a major factor in the Venus retrograde, right? So the first card I pulled out was called Gilded Regret, and it's like, I feel like living in the past. Give me 5 more minutes. And this is about wanting something from the past, either wanting to reconnect with someone just for 5 more minutes, just 5 more minutes, just one weekend with them. I just never got to have that and that kind of energy. And it's living in that and waiting for it to the point where the universe is like, okay, so I'll keep you waiting for it. And the problem with that is usually you connect that to a specific person. You can have that again, but you're going to have to accept that that's not what that person is. You're not hurt by anything except your own expectations. The other part of that is if you're in a relationship already and the other person, you're waiting, you're going through a hard phase. And you're waiting for it to get better again. If you just work through it, we'll hit that euphoric stage again. If we just keep fixing the problems, we'll be happy again. If we just hold out, we'll be happy again. And you just keep pulling up the past. Oh, those times were so great. I wish that could happen again. That was so great. I wish it could be like that again. And you're not supposed to. If you're truly in a union that's meant to be, that's a soul relationship, you should both be evolving into different people constantly, so you can never be the people you were at the beginning again. Doesn't mean you can't be happy as the people you are now. You just got to find new ways to be happy. Stop trying to repeat the past and create moments in the now that make you happy with that person based on who you guys are now, not who you guys were. All right. The other side of this was the card Blinded to Pain. And that is, I can shoulder it. It doesn't hurt. It's not a big deal, isn't it? And this card I want to show you. I know a lot of starseeds and everything go through the cutter phase. And you see she's got cuts all across her chest with flies on it drinking her blood. And she's got her eyes blindfolded and she's ignoring the pain and she's not crying and her lips are all red from biting them and not saying what needs to be said. So this is the other side of that spectrum of if you're in a relationship and the person you're with, this doesn't have to be a romantic partner. This could be anybody around you. This is someone that you're connected to. If you are with these people and they are constantly cutting you down and making you feel bad about yourself, and you're just taking it and just oh, that's how they are. That's just their personality. That's just whatever. They're going through a phase. And you're just bottling it up and bottling it up. And you're just taking these wounds and you're not resolving them. You're not crying about them. You're just completely blocking them and hiding them. That's not going to get you anywhere either. You have to be able to have conversations with the people you are with when things are hurting you. Because if you never air it, it's never going to get better. They're going to think it's okay to keep doing this because you keep allowing it. Caving becomes a habit. You start caving in one argument, and the next thing you know, you cave in all of them just to avoid the conflict altogether. And then the next thing you know, these people are treating you like shit, and you don't understand why. And it's because you allowed it. You allowed this buildup to go on for so long now that they've crossed lines, and now you don't know what to do. So you can't blind yourself. All right? What did I write here? Holding on to the past, either a person or hoping the relationship will go back to the way it was in the beginning. Blinding yourself to the pain. This is also blinding yourself to, if you're obsessing about an old connection, you're blinding yourself to the lessons that it taught you. You're blinding yourself to how much they hurt you, and you are not allowing yourself to see that side. You are dwelling on the euphoric moments of that relationship, and you are completely oblivious to the other side. And there's two perspectives to every relationship. My first husband remembers our relationship as being so fantastic, and I remember it as a nonstop drag out fight for 10 years, a never ending series of cycles of arguments. So that's what I mean. People will blind themselves. I'm not blinding myself to the fact that there wasn't good times in my first marriage. There was good times. Of course there was. You know, you wouldn't stay with somebody if it wasn't good times sometimes, but you got to weigh that out. If it gets to the point where it's more arguing than it is good times, you need to have a serious conversation, and you need to be grown up enough to have these serious conversations with people. You need to be able to say, this really hurts my feelings when you do this. And they will either try to make that change or they won't. If they try to make the change, by all means, do not give up on them. But if you have been doing this cycle for a long time and you have aired your concerns and they have not changed, it is time to take some distance. Okay? That's what retrogrades are for. That's what the shifts are for. That's why they rock things the way they do. You know, I would say grounding is really important right now. Like I always say, make sure you ask yourself how you truly feel. Is this how you really feel? Or is this how they want me to feel? Is this how they think I feel? You know, you got to ask these things. You got to figure out what emotions are really yours. And I know it's hard during these waves, and I know it's especially hard for empaths and starseeds to separate their emotions from other people. But you guys are missing out on a lot of beautiful things in the world, dwelling on old toxic relationships and blinding yourself to things that are bothering you and not airing your concerns. You have to be able to do these in true relationships, you know. Grounding is especially important right now. So I highly suggest always get out in nature. That is something everybody should be doing on a regular basis. Don't be a jerk if you do. Put your trash in the trash cans, please. That shit has me so heartbroken. The trails by my house were closed for all this quarantine time, and they had never been cleaner. And then as soon as it opened back up, everybody returned, and they just fucking threw trash all over the place. Don't be that person. You know, you wanna connect to the earth, and you wanna raise your frequencies and vibrations. You have to care about the planet as much as you care about the inside of your car. especially if you think you're a divine energy that came here for a purpose to help elevate the planet. You shouldn't be throwing trash out in the car, and you shouldn't be throwing trash all over your neighborhoods and stuff like that, and then wondering why you can't elevate out of the area that you're at. You know, the earth is like you're trashing the planet. Why should I give you anything good if you're just going to trash it? Same goes for relationships. If you're constantly bitching about your relationship to those around you, the universe is going to tell you, why should I give you something nice if you're just going to trash it and dog it? You got to start focusing on the upsides, and you got to start creating your own happiness, and then you will see it spread out to those around you in your family and your home. All right? Grounding. Focus on grounding your energy down into the earth before you start casting it up to draw down from the universe. I know a lot of people, and I'm not saying my way is the only way. Some star seeds are just not that connected to the earth that they feel they need the energy from above before they can ground down into the ground. But there is a lot of earthbound energies here that are trying to do things star seeds way, and they're not star seeds. They're earthbound spirits that need to draw their energy from their source energy, which is the earth itself. So if you've not been able to connect lately, try grounding down into the earth first and then cast up. What else should we be focusing on? You should be focusing on spirit, heavenly assistance from your angels and guides. Allow them to give you strength and intuition on what it is you need to say to express your spirit to these people so that they can understand your perspectives and they can understand where you're coming from. And work on healing yourself. True healing of the mind, body, and soul. A lot of you guys are looking for a relationship, and you really should be looking for a good counselor. You don't need romance, you just need someone to talk to. Romance and sex and all that is not going to fix you. Going inside, doing the inner work, and working through it. And you don't have to go to a counselor. But, you know, there's something about being able to talk about different aspects, you know, and that's what your soul tribe is there for too. You should be able to have those people that you can talk to, and don't be afraid to talk about, you know, things that you need to heal from. You'd be amazed at what purging can do. Don't blind yourself from pain. You needed to learn something from that pain. So you need to process it so you can heal your spirit. All right, loves, that's the message that I have for today. If you'd like to please like, share, subscribe, spank the bell to get more notifications. I will be back with any major planetary movements or whenever I have a message for you guys. All right. Blessed be all those who walk these paths with me. I love y'all. Talk to you later.